Welcome to our weekly Christ in Our Neighborhood conversation, where Joyce and I talk about Sunday's Gospel with Bishop John. Everything you need to do this with family and friends is on the Diocese of Phoenix website at dphx.org in the Christ in Our Neighborhood section. And with that, welcome back, Bishop John.
It's great to talk with you and to share with you. We've been focusing on hospitality, and I think that's a really good thing for us to talk about.
Amen to that. And we're reading from the Gospel of Luke still. We're on the 10th chapter, verses 38 to 42. So, Bishop, would you like to read our reflection?
Yeah, our theme of hospitality continues with the famous story of Martha and Mary, who welcomed their friend Jesus into their home.
In fact, Luke reports that Martha is the one who welcomed him. This thoughtful act of hospitality should naturally be rewarded. Indeed, it will be with the raising of her brother Lazarus from the grave. However, the reward appears to go to Mary, who has chosen the better portion by sitting at the feet of the Lord and listening to him speak.
Hospitality generally follows two forms, active or passive. Whether we are busy preparing a meal for our guests, that's active hospitality, or just enjoying their company, that's passive hospitality, we are being hospitable. To be sure, however hospitable we are toward Jesus, we will be rewarded in this life or the next.
So, Bishop, what is our question for this week?
Well, it's a good one. What rewards do you recognize in this life for welcoming Jesus into your heart? That is probably one of the hardest things to do, is to just kind of open your heart just a little bit and then put a welcome mat out there for the Lord. Because sometimes we're just so busy about many things. But I tell you what, I've shared this with guys who go up on the mountain for a retreat. I just say, don't open wide your heart, just open it up just a little bit. That's all we're asking. And by the end of the weekend, they're done. I mean, they are just so overwhelmed by the joy that they have found in the Lord, who just fills that heart. All that is required is just opening up just a little bit. And when we do that, that little act of hospitality is so important. I remember once a priest shared with me as a bishop on a retreat. He was leading the bishops on a retreat. And he says, all I'm asking of you is just to be generous with God, to give God some time. Be generous with your time. And that was one of the most important things. Just be generous with God.
Mm. Wow. Well, you're reminding me of a song from years ago that I heard, and I can't think of the artist, but it's called Welcome In. Yeah. And it's about just that, about welcoming the Lord into our hearts. So that really comes to mind right now. And I remember how that would just bring tears to my eyes every time I listened to it, because it was like, welcome into this mess I've created inside, all the brokenness, like allowing him, not just the parts that we're happy about, but to really enter into that. And I think it's not just something that we do one time, but we need to do over and over, hopefully daily.
Yeah.
And for me, what I find is that I find that steadiness.
Yeah.
I find that inner freedom and that peace. No matter the chaos going on around me, can be chaos, but I have that sense of being rooted and just a steadiness, because we ask the Lord into our lives. That doesn't mean everything's going to be hunky-dory. Like, right. There's going to be pain. There's going to be suffering. That's what it is to be human. But in the midst of that, when we really have welcomed him well into all the parts of our hearts, opened up all the secret places, there is a peace that passes understanding. And so that's what I've found.
Right. Yeah, so good. Well, very recently, I decided, okay, I'm going to start going to adoration once a week. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying a holy hour. I'm just saying stopping by the chapel, even if it's 15 minutes, and do it once a week. And I went yesterday, and it was like 20 minutes. And I was trying to where's it going to fit in? And I'm like, no, I need to do it. The first time I think about it, the first day, I need to do it right away. And so I go in, I'm like, nothing else is more important. So I'm going to go in, and I left the chapel, and it's not like in the chapel I was overwhelmed, but I left the chapel, and it's like there was this peace and continuity on like everything got done.
Right.
Like dinner was made, I went to the gym, like all the other things fit together so beautifully. And at the end of the day, I was reflecting and I realized like this is how the Lord wants my life. He wants it ordered and peaceful. And so that's what he gives me when I give him just a little bit of the time he's asking for.
That's right.
So
that's beautiful. My dad used to say, I'm going to church to pay the Lord a visit. That's it. It was just so nice. And it might be just he'd walk to church and then maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10.
Love
to
that.
pay the Lord a visit.
Pay the Lord a visit.
My mom used to do that, and she would invite us to join her, and we would go. And those are happy memories. Well, Bishop, what's our task for this week?
Well, I like this one. It says, take time to be a Martha this week. Make sure you prepare to welcome the Lord in the Sunday celebration of the Eucharist by dressing for the occasion, arriving early to mentally prepare yourself and reflect on the reading beforehand. And then take time to be a Mary this week. Quiet yourself in your room or pay a visit to church for some quiet and contemplative time. Try to make an hour of rest with your God. Yeah.
Excellent.
Those are great challenges.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Indeed.
All right, well, we'll see you next week.
For more information on Christ in Our Neighborhood and resources to start your own group, visit the Christ in Our Neighborhood section at the Diocese of Phoenix website.